Uncle Daddy.
Oh my God. Hello and welcome back to Potty Mouth, the show where the jokes are dirty and our minds are dirtier. I'm Aaron, this is Blake.
How you doing?
And today on the Potty Cast, something that has been happening for centuries, but not today because that's gross. We're talking about incest.
What?
As you may or may not know, incest was actually a very big cultural thing between royal families centuries ago, and was practiced for multiple centuries, decades upon centuries, blah, 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 hundreds and hundreds of years. Incest was practiced to keep it in the bloodline. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not.
Okay, well, there you go. Now you learn something new every day. But first, I do have a question for you.
Oh, no.
Well, actually, first of all, I guess I'll go and start with this. If I sound a little sick, it's because I am. Blake and I just traded sickness. So but it wasn't you. Because he was sick
Last
week, and you were on the show that Wednesday, and you just come back, and then Matt was on the show for that Friday, and you were still recovering then, but you were fine. I mean, Matt was fine. After I called him, I was like, "Hey man, are you sick?" And he's like, "No," but I was like, I was messed up,
I was
dude.
going to say, it was like, you took the whole weekend, right?
Yeah, so I took a 4-day vacation with my wife, just because we need to get away. And so we go on vacation, and the first day we get to leave, I'm sick. And so I wake up with a sinus infection, my throat hurts, I can't breathe out of my nose,
Ugh.
I'm coughing, I think I have a low fever. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I had a low fever.
Had a little bit of a chill going on.
Yeah, and I was sweating profusely. So I'm like, I may have something. And and so we leave the house, and we get, I don't know, maybe like halfway there, because we decided to drive. And I just can't drive. My head starts to hurt. I have a headache. My sinuses are like causing me fits. Like, it's just, I am a big bag of, I'm just a big ball of mess, essentially.
Jeez.
And so we stop at the store. We get like Mucinex and NyQuil and Dayquil, and we get to the hotel, and I just pump myself full of as many drugs as possible. Don't do that, by the way. I'm exaggerating a little bit.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I got down there, and I took some medicine right away because they have that like non-drowsy daytime stuff. So I did that, and then that kept me all right. It kind of kicked in, but I still had the headache. And so we get to the hotel, and I take some of the nighttime medicine and some NyQuil. Don't do that. You have some messed up dreams and wake up with a hangover. I swear to God, it'll be.
You woke up with a hangover?
Yeah, because apparently you're not supposed to take Mucinex with NyQuil because it has acetaminophen in it. Acetaminophen. There we go. In it, and Mucinex tells you on the back of the box, don't take any other medicines that has acetaminophen in it with this drug because it has like a stronger dose of it or something.
Okay.
So I basically overdosed. Not like dangerously, but I made myself high on sleep time medicine. Woo. Yeah. So that was interesting. And so I woke up with a hangover. So not on top of the headache that I normally wake up with, I had a hangover. And my sinuses weren't draining. They were clogged. My throat was a little sore, but the throat was better.
Hey, that's progress.
I will say that. My throat was better. It did. I woke up the second day. My throat didn't hurt. So that was nice. So I woke up. I took some Dayquil because I had that 2-for-1 package. So I was coating my throat, and then I was eating Halls like all day. Like, I don't know if that's good, because it has menthol in it, but
I usually do.
whatever, right? So, I mean, I was snacking on those suckers like it was candy.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah. So I was doing that, and then third day was all right. I mean, I got a lot better the third day. I could actually eat. I felt I had an appetite. And then the fourth day I was fine, but we were already starting to head back. So that was kind of sucked. But other than that,
Did your wife have fun though?
yeah, she had fun. We went putt-putting because we got down there. And there, I mean, if you follow my Instagram at all, you'll know where we were. But I was in Gatlinburg. I'm not afraid. We go to Gatlinburg every year, or try to. Because me and my wife have this thing everywhere we go that means something to us. So whether it's Gatlinburg or we have a few other places that we go that are specifically, like, they're very important to us. We go once a year. And so every place that we go that's important, we take a lock, and then we put the lock somewhere where no one will find it with our initials on it in the year we went. And then we check back on the lock.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like the lock of our love or whatever.
Okay.
So we went back to check on our lock, and it's still there. 4 years later.
No kidding.
Yeah, because it comes out February, so it's almost 4. Not quite, almost 4 years.
Dang. Okay.
No, this is mid-January. Yeah, almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in March. Yeah. So yeah, 4 years later, and that lock is still there. We putted. I kicked butt. We played we called it the MPPGA.
Oh jeez.
The miniature putt golf association.
Are you filling me up right now?
No, come here. Your thing keeps bumping into the mic.
Oh.
That little you hear that little tick. You hear that little tick thing in the mic, folks. That's because his
Hold on.
little. I know. I got you. I got it. You're good. I want to make it to where it doesn't do that anymore. There. It's like, so what I basically did is I lavaliered him. For those of you in the industry that know what I'm talking about, not really. It's not really a lavalier, but I unbuttoned his button, and then I ran the cord through his second button on his shirt. That way, this little piece doesn't keep bumping into your pop filter.
Oh, okay. That works.
So
Appreciate
anyway, yeah, no problem. So yeah, we came back. I had some great food though. If you're ever in Gatlinburg, you need to go to the Pancake Pantry. It is hands down the best pancakes I've ever had in my life. Period. And my wife makes the second best pancakes I've ever had in my life. So really great pancake place. Apple Barn.
Okay.
Amazing food. It's like the Apple Barn. It's basically in an old house that they've remade into a full dining experience. It's Southern home cooking food, and it's all made in house. They have apple fritters, so they're sweet like they look like hush puppies.
Okay.
But they're like apple, and they're served they have powdered sugar on them, and then they're served with homemade apple butter. It is incredible.
That sounds really good.
And then the sides, they have sides that you can share with the table, so they're all refillable. So all you can eat, and then you can get your main entree plus a dessert and something like that for like $15.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the Old Mill. The Old Mill is a staple there. It's been there for years. That's actually in Gatlinburg. Or no, it's not. It's in Pigeon Forge. So I lied. The Pancake Pantry is in Gatlinburg. And then the Old Mill and the Apple Barn are just outside Pigeon Forge is the Old Mill, I think.
Okay.
Because right down the road by Dolly, or by the Dixie Stampede, or it's Dolly Stampede now, I think, or whatever. But
Dolly's taking over.
I think it was Dolly Parton's Stampede or something like that.
Okay.
Now, so I think the Old Mill is right down by that. And then you have the Apple Barn, which is a little bit further down, closer to Sevierville. And that's, oh man, you gotta go. So Apple Barn, the Old Mill, and Pancake Pantry down in Gatlinburg.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that.
You gotta go. Maybe you can go with us sometime.
Heck yeah.
Be fun. Just drinking and eating a bunch of food.
Do some line dancing.
Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot about that. He loves to line dance.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, you fit right in. Yeah, but that was fun. So we went, anyway, oh yeah, the MPPGA. So, So we on our third day there, I was starting to feel a little bit better. And so, no, it was second day. Second day, about midday, I took a bunch of medicine, so I was feeling fine because I basically drugged myself. I don't recommend it. I'm just saying it worked. So we went to this putt-putt. It's Old McDonald's putt-putt. It's Ripley's, believe it or not, Old McDonald putt-putt. It's right down there by the Fashion Mall in Pigeon Forge.
Okay.
Or not the Fashion Mall, but the Tanger outlets. And
Yeah.
So we went to that, and we decided, because apparently this is so stupid, by the way. So you can pay $13.99 to play one course per person, or you can pay $15.99 and play all three. So you can play one miniature putt-putt course, 18 holes, for $14, or you can pay $16 and play it all 18, or all, 18 times 3? I don't know math. We play all three 18-hole courses.
Jeez.
For $2 more.
I mean,
It's stupid not to do that.
I think that's just how they encourage it.
Yeah, I mean, I would. It's $32 to do that. Yeah, it's not a bad deal. So we did that, and so basically what had happened is I won the cow. There's cow, chicken, and pig, and that's because it was an old McDonald's farm. So there's the cow course, the chicken course, and the pig course. Yeah, so I won the cow course, and then Ellen won the chicken course. And so I was down by 2 strokes total going into the pig course. And so she and I are very competitive. So she decided that she was going to challenge me to see who could win, like make it a competition. Because usually when we get competitive, we get kind of mean. So we're like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right. So we're going into it, and I mean, I'm just killing it. Like the whole course is par 2. There was a couple par 3s and a par 4. It took me 2 strokes every time to get the ball in.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you guys make a bet?
Oh yeah.
What was the bet? Or can we even say it on here?
I mean, if I win, she goes down on me to completion. If she wins, I go down on her to completion. That's kind of
okay.
We're very sexual. It's all right. Whatever. I get her to climax. She gets me to climax by oral.
Okay.
Essentially.
That works.
So I don't know if my wife wanted me to say that on camera. I don't know. Anyway. So we played, and I mean, she had a rough hole. So there was a par 2. It was like the 4th or 5th hole, and she double bogeyed it, and I got a 2.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that immediately put me ahead by 2 strokes. And then she had a couple hole-in-ones, which saved her because I got a 2 on it. And so we were pretty neck and neck, and I think I beat her by 2 strokes. No, 4. I beat her by 4 strokes. I had a 34, and she had a 38. So in the real total, though, I only beat her by 2.
So basically, she had to make up the strokes later.
Ha-ha! But yeah, so I mean, it was fun. The trip was, all in all, even though I was sick, it was still a very fun trip. I was sick from some of it, most of it. It's fine.
It's rough.
Yeah, but anyway.
Speaking of Gatlinburg.
Speaking of, why that segue? Why are you gonna play the incest card on the poor Southern people? Come on, not that you're saying that you're poor. Because you're
Tennessee
Southern.
and Kentucky.
I'm just saying, it's kissing cousins and blah, 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 blah. If you're fans of ours from Tennessee, please forgive us for saying that. Blake knows not what he... Blake knows not what he does.
Or do I?
It's not the right grammar, but we're going to roll with it. So, anyway.
I have a lot of family from Kentucky and Tennessee.
Do you know what the definition of incest is without reading it on my screen?
I can't. It would take me forever to read all that right now.
Okay, well, look at me. And what's the definition of incest?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
Having sex with a family member.
Okay, well, the definition of incest is sexual relations between people classed as being too closely related to marry each other. the crime of having sexual intercourse with a parent, child, sibling, or grandchild. That's
so basically blood related.
Directly related, I think, is more.
Okay.
You can be, because technically you can be cousins and still be blood related.
Right.
Right. So I don't think. I think it has. I don't know. We'll read. So, incest between family members or close relatives is incest is human sexual activity between family members or close relatives. So let's look up the history of incest. So in ancient China, first cousins with the same surnames were not permitted to marry, while those with different surnames or maternal cousins or paternal cousins were. So basically cousins were allowed to, but directly related siblings were not. So first cousins were allowed to, first cousins, with the same surname couldn't, but first cousins without the same surname could marry.
Interesting.
So basically, if my cousin's last name is Shields, I couldn't marry her in ancient China, but if it was a different last name, I could.
Okay.
That's also very weird. Okay, interesting.
Still very weird.
And it's interesting, though. Okay, not whatever. Let's keep moving on.
Be getting called Uncle Daddy.
Uncle Daddy. Oh God. Fable of Oedipus. I think I was saying that right, and he wouldn't know if I wasn't. So, with the theme of inadvertent incest between a mother and son, ends in disaster and shows ancient taboos against incest, as Oedipus is punished for incestuous actions by blinding himself. So he was so scarred by having sex with his mom that he blinded himself. He cut his own eyes out.
Jeez.
Well, that's a little rough.
That's a little much.
Roman civil law prohibited marriages within 4 degrees of consanguinity. Consanguinity?
Sure.
Okay. But had no degrees of affinity with regards to marriage. Roman civil laws prohibited any marriage between parents and children, either in ascending or descending the line ad infinitum. Words.
What?
I don't know. So let's try.
You lost me.
let's try to break. Let's try to break this down real quick, okay? Okay, so I guess Roman law prohibited within 4 degrees. So I'm assuming it's within 4 descendants.
Or would it be like generations?
But had no degrees of infinity with regards to marriage. Roman civil law prohibited any marriage between parents and children, either in the ascending or descending line. Okay, adoption was considered the same as affinity in that a adoptive father could not marry an unemancipated daughter or granddaughter, even if the adoption had been dissolved.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Incestuous unions were discouraged and considered nefas or nefas, which is against the laws of the gods and man, defined by that word right there. Okay, so in ancient Rome. In 80 to 95, incest was explicitly forbidden by an imperial edict, which divided the concept of incestus into 2 categories of unequal gravity. The incestus iris, I'm butchering this by the way, the incestus iris civilis, which concerned only Roman citizens. Therefore, for example, an Egyptian could marry an aunt, but a Roman could not. An Egyptian could marry an aunt, but a Roman could not. Okay, interesting. So basically, you could in certain situations, but once again, it had to be through descending order and through descending line, and had to be certain rules and things that applied. Biblical references. First biblical reference to incest involved Cain. If you ever heard the Cain and Abel, that whole thing.
I'm trying to remember.
Cain killed Abel.
Well, that was
because he was jealous. Remember with the rock?
Oh shoot!
There you go.
Yeah.
So it was cited that he knew his wife, and she conceived a bear Enoch, conceived and bared Enoch. During this period, there was no other woman except Eve, or there was an unnamed sister, and so this meant Cain had an incestuous relationship with his mother or his sister, because there was no other woman at that time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that the picture of her?
No, that's Middle Ages.
Oh, I was gonna say, it looks like she's got a rock up the
We're
face.
slowly going through time. So, Middle Ages, many European monarchs were related due to political marriages, sometimes resulting in distant cousins and even first cousins being married. This was especially true in Habsburg, Savoy, and Bourbon royal houses. However, relationships between siblings, which may have been tolerated in other cultures, were considered abhorrent. I don't know what that means.
Where was that at?
Right there. This word.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. If I didn't know it, I'm assuming.
Most of the time.
No offense. For example, the accusation that excuse me for your ears, guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna stop coughing. I even took cough medicine before the show. I don't even know what's going on. All right, whatever.
Imagine if you didn't.
It'd be way worse. Anne Boleyn and her brother George Boleyn had committed incest, was one of the reasons that both siblings were executed in May of 1536.
Damn.
So, they did not take that lightly. Okay, so...
Apparently not.
Incestuous marriages were also seen in the royal houses of ancient Japan, Korea, Incan Peru, ancient Hawaii, and at times Central Africa, Mexico, Thailand, and Egypt. Unlike Egypt, the Incan rulers married their sisters. For instance, the son Topa Inca, Yupanqui, that sounds right.
Yupanqui.
And the Incan sister and wife. Whoa.
Damn.
Okay. Interesting. So actually, and there's one law that says you cannot marry or have sex with, or you cannot marry your first cousin or second cousin. So you have to be more than two cousins separated. But other than that, it's free game. So basically, in America, we'll marry you if you're two cousins apart.
Interesting.
I think it's two cousins apart. Consensual sex between persons of 18 years old is always lawful in the Netherlands and Belgium, even among closely related family members. Sexual acts between an adult family member and a minor are illegal. That makes 100% sense. Okay, in Florida, consensual adult sex intercourse with someone known to be your aunt, uncle, niece, or nephew constitute a felony in the third degree.
Oh, shoot.
Other states also commonly prohibit marriage between such kin. The legality of sex with a half-aunt or half-uncles varies by state. Interesting. Okay. In the United Kingdom, incest includes only sexual intercourse with a parent, grandparent, child, or sibling. But the more recently introduced offense of sex with an adult relative extends also as far as half-siblings, uncles, aunts, nephews, and nieces. But nothing about cousins.
Apparently that's fair game.
I mean, everything I'm reading says, cousins.
Aha.
We're moving on, folks. All right, cousins. Marriages and sexual relations between first cousins are stigmatized as incest in some cultures, but tolerated in much of the world. Currently, 24 U.S. states prohibit marriages between 24. 24 states.
Out of the 50.
Out of 50. So a majority of the United States will allow you to marry your first cousin.
Wow.
I really want to see the map. Like, I want to see the map of where it is legal. That didn't show me, but okay.
Oh, come on. Color code that damn thing.
Right. The United States, the United Kingdom permits both marriage and sexual relationships between first cousins. In some non-Western societies, marriage between close biological relatives account for 20 to 60 of all marriages. So 20 to 60% of all marriages.
By the way, I can think of 2 states right now.
Alabama.
3.
Arkansas.
4.
Tennessee, Kentucky.
Yeah. I say that. I only say that because I have family there.
You are isolating our fan base. What are you doing?
Hey, you're the one that named out Alabama.
Yeah.
And Arkansas.
Sorry, guys. Do you want to take a guess on which? I don't want to guess. That's not a guess.
I don't want to.
Nah, that's not a guess. Okay. So first and second cousin marriages are rare, accounting for less than 1% of marriages in Western European and North American and Oceanic culture, while 9% of South American, East Asian, and South European, and about 50% in regions of the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia. Wow. So 9% of marriages account for pretty much most of the world, besides Western Europe and North America.
So let me ask you this, because does it say anything on there about like the birth effects or anything like that?
I mean, I imagine it would.
Or is that just a myth?
But I think, no. There are definitely signs to birth defects. No, there are definitely like facts based around like if you have sex with someone that's too close to you, you could have.
Why is that?
Oh, the science behind it? You're putting me on the spot with the science behind it?
I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. It's okay.
Yeah. But
I'm
they
just
want to
curious.
know. But now you've asked it. Now they want to know. So now that you've asked it,
I'm sorry.
that they're gonna want to ask it, and now they can't ask it because you just asked it on the show, and they can't. They're hearing this after we recorded the show, so therefore I have to answer it for you asking it for them.
You're welcome.
So, with that long and pointless conversation we just had, does incest cause birth? That's not how you spell birth. Birth. That's not how you spell birth. Birth defects.
I thought I was getting bad.
Dude, I am. You know what? Anyway, while line breeding is less likely to cause problems in the first generation than does inbreeding, over time, line breeding can reduce the genetic diversity of a population and cause problems related to a small gene pool that may include an increased prevalence of genetic disorders and inbreeding depression. What is line breeding now? Okay.
See, now you asked the question.
No, because now, okay, so apparently so incest is sexual relations, not conception of a child. That's inbreeding.
Gotcha.
So now there's line breeding, which I don't know what that is. Okay, so line breeding. Breed from closely related people, especially over many generations. Yes, but how does that work?
Well, you see, when
They put a line together and then you breed. What? Okay, what is line breeding?
that'd probably be a better one.
No, line. I'm gonna hurt this thing. What is okay? This might help. So, guys, this is a problem at this point. Um, okay, so what is inbreeding? We don't know what inbreeding is. Inbreeding is the mating of closely related individuals that have one or more relatives in common.
Inbred.
Line breeding is a form of inbreeding. What the fuck? What? Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, what is line breeding? Line breeding is a term commonly used to describe a milder form of inbreeding. Typically, it involves arranging matings so that one or more relatives occur more than once while avoiding close inbreeding. Okay, hold on. What? Okay, it's a milder form of inbreeding because they arrange the mating so that one or more relatives occur more than once.
So populating.
Yeah, but specific population. So mating with one person, I think is. I think that's what it's saying. It's more than one It's like one person, and then multiple partners in the same family with that one person.
Oh. Ew.
The interbreeding of individuals with a particular line of descent, usually to perpetuate desirable characters.
So one line of blood.
Maybe it's going down. So the interbreeding of individuals with a particular line of descent. So they're doing it in a specific order to perpetuate desirable characters. So like mom and dad would have sex with their son or daughter, and then the daughter would have a kid, and if she had a son, then, or if she had a daughter, then the son would then have sex with the daughter.
Jeez.
Or so basically, if there's do this. So there's mom and a dad, and then the mom had a daughter. So move down. Then the dad would have sex with the daughter, and then if she had a boy, then the son would have sex with the mother, the grandmother, I guess. And then if she got pregnant and it would just be a specific line to avoid those issues. That is weird, and I may have explained that completely wrong, and if you know the correct way, I guess, I don't know if it's please let us know.
Yes.
Because that's already all kinds of confusing.
Yes, very much so.
I guess we weren't there yet, so because I talked about inbreeding, but that is very interesting.
They have a lot of different ones on there.
Yeah, they do. They go through even religions, which we're not going to get into.
Nope.
But this is interesting. So laws are getting closely. That is so weird. So basically, there's 24 states that will, that will allow. So not more than half, but damn close.
I bet I could think of some more.
Oh man, I know you could, because you're gonna start naming southern states. So stop, because you're just assuming. Indiana's probably one, to be honest.
I'm sure it is in certain areas.
Let's just look up the map to see where is incest legal. The U.S. states of New Jersey and Rhode Island.
Okay.
Which is actually kind of interesting.
Do they not have a map of it?
I wish they did. I'm trying to find one because I want to know. Oh, here we go.
Aha!
So I don't have a map, but I have an Excel sheet. So Alabama.
So they color coded something.
Territories, federal district.
Oh, never mind.
So here we go. Nope. Alaska, an ancestor descendant of the whole family have blood, either illegitimate or nope, 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 nope. Well, maybe not. Maybe that was a lie.
What?
I don't know. This is not helping.
No, it's not helping at all. Might want to try something else.
Yeah, because that is confusing.
Aha.
It's incest and it's illegal. Okay. Wait, no. I don't know. Let's figure. Okay, here we go.
Aha.
Dark blue, first cousin marriage is legal. California, Alaska, Hawaii. Oh my God. I just looked at the eastern side of the map. So, anyway, here's where the dark blue first cousin marriage is legal.
Excuse me.
You're good. New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Maryland, assuming maybe not Washington, D.C. I can't see on this little map. Tennessee, Kentucky. No, not Kentucky. Tennessee. So apologize.
My apologies.
Okay.
Still right about
not
Tennessee.
Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Florida. And then out in the west, you got California. That's Nevada, Utah, Colorado. I don't know my states.
I don't either.
Which one's Arizona?
I think it's one right next. Is it right next to Texas, or is it next to?
We're so bad. It's either Arizona or Texas or Colorado or Wyoming. No, it's Colorado. No, it's Wyoming. I don't know, man. Okay, whatever. Fine. It's fine. So pink is banned with exceptions. That's Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota. I don't know what that means. Like banned with exceptions? I don't know. And then red state is statute bans first cousin marriage. That's Vermont, Delaware, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio,
Just so you have
Kentucky, Michigan, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama, Louisiana, Nebraska, Kansas.
They're right there.
I know. Montana. That's Wyoming, Idaho, Washington, Oregon. I know my states. What are you talking about? I just got New Mexico confused, but it's right there. And then in the dark red, it's a criminal offense. So to marry your first cousin or have sexual relations, I assume, is a criminal offense in Texas.
So one of them
Oklahoma.
believes in the death penalty, and they use it.
So Texas, Oklahoma, North Dakota and South Dakota, and Nevada.
It's one with the stripes.
Or Nevada. No, Nevada. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's Nevada. I don't know. No, what? Nevada's right there.
I said, what's the one with the stripes?
Oh, the
Does it show?
I don't think they have it. I don't think it has anything regarding it. It doesn't say anyway. Because that would be red stripes. It doesn't say.
So basically, the dark blue and the light blue are the ones that.
Yeah, dark blue. So dark blue is it is allowed, and then light blue is it allowed with requirements and exceptions.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have the map, so we can't show you. But we have the map, but it's not going to be on there. And you're listening. Some of you are listening, so it doesn't even matter. But if you took the time to label, if you had a handwritten map of the United States, and then you labeled which ones were which because you were curious and you love us and you love this show, more power to you. If you have any questions about incest, please don't ask us because we don't know. As you can tell, we've been reading about incest and we still have no clue.
That's completely
all we know
true.
is that incest was used quite frequently back in ancient times. Apparently, line breeding was a thing. We have solved nothing today, and that is all for this episode of Potty Mouth. If you like this episode of Potty Mouth, make sure to like and subscribe everywhere you get your podcast, iTunes, Spotify, or watch it here on YouTube. If you're watching it here on YouTube, make sure to like this video so we can keep bringing you fun, silly content like this. And with that being said, that's all for this rather pathetic episode of Potty Mouth, and we will see you next time on the Potty Cast.
Uncle Daddy!
Oh my God.